Oh, whoa. Well, I'm just looking at the Facebook page, and as I was about to get to our questions, I see this chart that Holly Sirios posted about Trump's turnout in New Hampshire. Wow, that's astonishing. In 2020, Trump turned out twice as many people as Reagan did when he was an incumbent, almost twice as many as Clinton did, almost more than twice as many as Bush, and well more than twice as many than Obama. In other words, when Obama went to New Hampshire as the only candidate for reelection, he brought out 49,080 people, and Trump brought out 118,774. My God, I don't want to get overconfident, but Jesus looks really good. So let's have a couple quick ones, then I'm going to just have to call it a night, I'm afraid. I'm just awful sorry about all this, but that's the way it goes. Let's see what we got here. Hang on. Move things around a little bit so that I can read them. Yeah, and Trump rallies are doing real well. And I've also heard that there's an awful lot of Democrats at Trump rallies. I think they're in real trouble. If Trump goes after the black vote aggressively, if he brings Kanye with him to some of these events, it's game over for them. And for a while, too. All right, so let's see. Dave Wellman wants to know, could the phrase "we won the war but lost the peace" be applied to the Cold War, or are we still fighting it, more so home instead of abroad? It's a great question. I We won the Cold War, and I think the thing that we and again, this is something that just got clear to me recently, like in the last couple of weeks. I think a better way to think of it is not that we lost the peace. I think a better way to think of it is this: as soon as the Cold War ended, the culture war began. In fact, the culture war began significantly before the Cold War ended. That the forces of collectivism had, from certainly from the 60s, decided, and earlier, really from the 50s, decided that they were going to undermine this country culturally and mimetically. And by the time we were in the 60s, they'd already started. So the way I look at it now, Dave, is to say that we won the Cold War, and the culture war began before that war ended, and we were getting our butts whipped. And then 2016 was midway. The Donald Trump election was an incredible victory. It was midway. It was like there is no way that that really could have happened or should have happened. It was a miracle, but it did. So so that's how I look at it now. I look at it as, yeah, the tide has turned. We got a lot of fighting left to do, a lot of casualties left to take, but right now I'm feeling pretty good. Hang on one second. Hey, how are you? We're good. Thank you. Have a good night. Bye bye. So anyway, yeah, let's. Hollywood knows they're finished. They all know they're finished. They know it. They can feel it. That's why they're getting violent and nutty. Our friend Dave Olson, you were on Glenn Beck today. Yes, I was. I had a really good time. But you didn't do one iota of promotion for it here. Isn't it shameless self promotion one of the best ways to boost the signal? Yeah, Dave, it is. It's going to come as a tremendous shock to many people. Scott Ott probably more than anybody that of the many skills I've acquired over the course of my life, business acumen is not exactly one of them. So, yeah, I'm just been writing scripts since end of May of last year for Apollo 11, and then picked up the Cold War right away. And I just don't have the head for it. It's not a question of laziness or priorities. It's just not something I can do. It's simple, but I can't do it. And it's frustrating to many people, and to other people more than me. So, yeah, it's a great point. I'd like to do more Glenn Beck. like to get, and I did 5 red eyes back in the day in around 2012, 13, something like that. So I'd like to get on all of that. First thing I have to do is finish up this last script and a half of the Cold War, get that off the plate. Then I have a little more time. I can start worrying about moving things forward. So it's a great point, and I wish I had a better answer for it, but I don't.